Welcome to User and I, the channel where I explore all things UX and UI design. And today we're talking about the fourth principle in our series, and that's connectedness. Now this one's relatively new in comparison to the other ones we've seen. It was introduced as a principle by Stephen Palmer, who's a lecturer at the University of Berkeley. And this principle basically describes elements that are connected to each other are seen as part of the same unit. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But one thing to note is that this principle, much like the principle of similarity, is strong enough to override small differences. Let's take this for example. Based on the principle of proximity, there's one group, two groups, 3, and 4. But if we take into account the connectedness principle, we start to see that we can create different groups by joining them together with a line, and it overrides the previous principle entirely. This is another example. We have what looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4 groups, based on size and based on color and based on proximity. So we can see similarity and proximity as those two principles taking place here. But once we include connectedness, we start to see that those other principles are overridden by this one. And this is how powerful connectedness and the idea of grouping is. And we can always see that in our UI designs as well. Here's a real world example. We've all seen dates, we've all seen calendars, we've all built them, maybe in a design here or there. But again, we see several principles at play here. We've got one of similarity in terms of size, and we've got one of proximity in terms of distance. But when you start including connectedness, you can quickly see that those principles don't really stand out as much as this one does. Let's take another example from Alexander. These are basically steps during the checkout process. We can see the similarity principle because of the color. We can see the proximity principle because of the distance, but also we can see connectedness again overriding the previous two. Here's another example taken from the Joe Malone website. We can see that there's the principle of proximity here coming into play. We've got the discover area on the right hand side, and we've got on the left hand side actual categories. So if we were to talk about the objective of each area, the right hand side is for people who aren't sure of what they want, and the left hand side is for people who have a bit of a better idea and can go straight to our category page. But because they're in a drop down, we can easily see that these are grouped. They're secondary areas under the shop category at the top. So that wraps up number 4. We're about halfway through the series. I hope you're all enjoying it. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and also let me know which one's your favourite. I'll catch you on the next episode.